All right, guys. Today I'm gonna do more of a vlog style video. We got this fence torn down. I'm gonna put in all new steel posts and concrete, 2x6 rot board, 2x3 ledger board, 2x4 rails. I'm gonna do Japanese cedar non-board on board. So let's go. All right, first step, I'm gonna set the post on this end of the fence and that end of the fence, so I can pull a string between the two and set our other posts off of that. All right, now I'm gonna remove any loose dirt in there that can interfere with the strength of the concrete, and then we'll pour the post. I'm gonna get the bag ready. First up, I'm gonna get it roughly leveled, roughly plumbed, and then have Caleb pour in the concrete dry. We'll shake the post, wiggle out in the air pockets. Water, yeah, you can put 4 liters of water in that. Let me see these hoses over there. Again, you can talk, but I can always edit or fast forward or cut or mute.
Actually, I'm upset.
I was really thinking hard. Anything I could say. I'm gonna take my post pounder and pound this post down a little bit. People in the comments will be like, "Oh, you're not 24 inches deep." We're spacing these closer than 8 foot, and we went a little wider than normal. It'll be totally fine, especially this close to the end. We want the post to be tall enough that our top rail will sit at the top of the picket height so that we can get a ribbon board on it cleanly. Create a little basin here. You can always chip off the extra.
It's good looking basin.
All right, go ahead, bud. Give her 4 liters. Let that saturate.
The excess water, just clean full off. Yeah. Expert I know. So
It helps on steel, but mandatory on 4x4. Was this about 4 liters exactly or not exactly?
3.8. Well, yeah. Maybe time for a new bucket. Get a little hard to read.
But if I put all this in, it won't oversaturate. It'll be about 3.8.
Yeah. By 3.8, I mean just under 4.
6 and 1, buddy. 6 and 1.
12 of one, a dozen of another.
And we'll let that saturate and then get the rest in there. All right, next up, I'm going to set the line post, which is done by running a string from end post to end post. And then I'm going to put a post level on the post, obviously higher up. And then I'm going to bring it to plumb with it about an 1/8 inch off of the post, so it's not pushing the string each one and getting out of line. Then I'm going to add concrete dry and pour my water in. All right, bub, let's do it. Shake the post around and work out any air pocket. slowly get all this water in here, and then we're going to do the same thing for the rest of it. These ones can afford to be quite short because they're going to parallel the top list.
Well, what were you looking at, Dad? Look at this barbed wire I found.
Look at the weave on there.
Yeah.
Unhook that string. I'm going to run a string from this one to just touching that one. And that way I'll know exactly how far east-west to put that post. Because this is all going to be one set of rails. So if this one were inset or stood a little proud of these two, it'd be a botch job.
But I eyeballed in that hole will get you wherever you need to go.
Yeah, I just need more slack. Alright, now hold it tight. Or step on it behind this. See, I'll go just until it touches the middle one. And then make a mental note. Alright, that does it for today. Tomorrow we'll start putting up rails and the rot boards. Me and Caleb went and tore the whole fence down, measured and cleared our fence line, pulled the string, and put all these posts in. I'll give you a couple lengthwise pictures so you can see just how plumb they are with each other. And then tomorrow we'll start the rails. Okay, next morning, first thing I did is put the brackets on the ends, and then I pulled the string from that one to this one. That's one pitch. And then a string over. That's the second pitch. Making sure that it was as high as it could be without going over the top of any one post. So next, I'm going to start putting rails on. I'm using 16 footers because they span 3 different rails and help a lot with wind. It's just a stronger way to do it. So by centering this one, that means that this one down here at the end, I want the board to come as far as the end of the post. So when we run boards across, they can tee into there. So we need to shift this back a little bit. Right there's about perfect. So I'm going to screw that one in. All right. I'm going to load a screw on. Bring it down until the rail sticks down maybe 3/8 of an inch. Maybe even less. I might go something more like that. Now I'm going to go down to the 2 posts down and do the same thing. It's also worth explaining to you guys that if you're doing this with one person, you can take a 99-cent clip from Home Depot, put it over the bracket like that, and that'll hold your board either like that or between the posts. Just nice little quality of life improvement. And again, I'm going to set it pretty much flush with the bottom of the bracket and screw it back on. Doing so gives us this extra height on the total fence while still having it affixed to the bracket securely. Compared to, if I move the board down an inch, you're losing an inch of height. That's now done, and I'm going to do the same thing on all the top rails going all the way down. All right, I'm going to lift this one up just like the one before it. Have Caleb lift his end up. Difference here is that instead of the rail sitting it flush with the bottom of the bracket, I'm going to center it on the bracket. Come down to Caleb's end and do the same thing. All right, center it on the bracket this time. Screw it off. I'll take skill saw and cut that off, and then we'll do the third one. All right, guys, we got the top and middle rails up. And then it dawned on me the customer wanted the pickets facing his side. So we had to spend the last 20, 30 minutes switching all the rails we've already put up. But now we're good. We're going to start the kickboards. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hoe and clear out a lot of this so that the rot boards sit firmly down kind of in the ground a little better than just kind of riding on top of the grade. What I like to do here is put this bracket on real loose and then put the rot board on, you know, centering it left, right. And then with the brackets loose, then I'll hammer it down into grade and secure the brackets. Bring the bracket up to about middle height on the rot board. Screw in there. Come down by Caleb here. Lift her up. Put a screw in here. Now go along with your foot on it, bub, and tap it down with the sled. Just kind of seat it in a little bit. Yeah. Give it a little more tap than that. Yeah. Yeah. And that'll probably be good to secure the bracket. All right, now that you've seen one, I won't bore you with the tedious process of doing them all. I'm going to do that to the rest of them. I took a 2x3 and put it flat on top for the pickets to sit on. Really ends up being a good look. These are 3.5-inch wood screws. I got 4 per board. All right, now that we've got the 2x6 rot board and the rest board installed, I've put the brackets on to install the bottom rail. So I'm going to bring it up to the same level. That'll get cut off. And I'm going to screw it on. That'll allow the pickets to come down, attach to all 3 rails, and sit on this rest board. All right, guys, that's the end of day 2. We got 90% of the middle rails, 90% of the top rails, 80% of the rot boards up. Going to come back tomorrow, finish the rot boards and the rest boards on top of them. Put the rails and rot boards up for the front gate, which since it's a gate, I'm not going to probably use the rest board. And then we're going to start putting on pickets and the ribbon boards. This will be non-board on board. So we'll see you tomorrow.
So what I'm doing here is we're at the picket stage. I'm attaching these to the rails we've already installed. And on this particular one, you'll notice that we have a custom rail board at the bottom, so that makes this part easy. Otherwise, you're just wanting to line up, usually with a string line from end to end, so your tops are mostly aligned. Now, when I put these in, what I like to do is get one screw, shooting for the middle of my rail here, and about an inch, inch and a quarter here off of it, not too far to the end, and then see how it looks and put one in. Some of these are going to have a bit of a bow one side or the other that you might have to deal with. So the reason you want to check every few boards or how bad it is, maybe every single board, to keep that you're straight on the level. So this one is going to smidge out, so I want to push the bottom over. So before I lock it in and put all the screws that I'm going to, what I like to do is get it where I want it with just another screw. So I might kick this out just a smidge. At this point, I'm eyeballing it, but and boom. So you might have little gaps in there, but if you keep on the level as you go, you won't have any noticeable gaps and everything will be straight and level.
All right, guys. Once Caleb had gotten 8 feet done, I cut the tops off flush with the top rail and put on the ribbon board. So this is what we ended up looking like. I don't know if the angle of the camera right now shows the rot board, rest board, pickets, and ribbon board, but that's where we're at. Caleb's continuing on. I'm going to go ahead and wait till he's all done to cut the rest of the tops off. This was just to show the customer what it will look like when it's finished before stain. In the meantime, I went down the fence line with my angle grinder and cut all the steel posts flat at the top, flush with the top of the bracket. And then I put on these 2. Again, if you're this far, like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. But anyway, what I did here is I would put one 3-inch wood screw in at an angle into the end grain of that. I would then level it and then affix it to the brackets on either of these 2 end posts. So next, I'm going to go ahead and put the rot boards on. Ain't much to see there, so I'll probably show you a time lapse of Caleb continuing to throw on pickets, and then I'll explain to you the next step when we get there. All right, guys, so today we got the rest of the rot boards up, finished off that 8-foot section at the end. Put the rails up for both front sections. This one will be a gate. This one actually won't be a gate. And then tomorrow we're going to come with the rest of the pickets, finish doing the pickets, finish doing the red cedar ribbon board across the top, and then we'll be ready for stain. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, guys, we're back. Today's a cloudy, chillier day. I got Caleb taking off on pickets. I'm going to start up here, building the pickets for the gate. I'm going to put a picket here, and really, since the tops will get cut off, right over here will actually be a little bit below the ribbon board just to keep the bottom gap where we want it. I'm just going to put them up by aligning the bottoms. Maybe each one over drops an 1/8 inch, so it follows a good ground line. So here I go. Again, think about liking the video, subscribing to the channel. We're out here putting in the work, making these videos for y'all. So let's get to this gate. All right, guys, one step I did along the whole fence on the inside that I didn't show you is anywhere that the pickets stick up over the top of the fence, I'm just going off and cleanly cutting them off with a skill saw. So I'll show you that step, and then I'll move on to cutting in the gate, which I'm not going to include in this video because I have probably 5 other videos that detail really well how to cut in a gate. I'll link to a couple of them, both in video cards and in the description. But for now, I'm going to cut the top of these off, and then I'll update you once I got the gate done and cut in. All right, guys, we got the gate cut in. I'm going to take you down here and show you what else we got done today. I got Caleb digging out a sprinkler head that's right under the fence. We need to move it into the customer's property a little bit. But we got all the pickets up and the tops cut off, screwed together. All the ribbon boards are on. I think it turned out real sharp. Again, consider liking the video if you liked it. Engage with our other content. So after completing the long run of shared fence and this gate in its entirety, we're a few pickets short of getting this gate done. So tomorrow when we come back, I'm going to finish building this, cut it in with hinges and a new latch kit, put the ribbon board on, and then we're going to stain it all. And that should be the final step. All right, guys, I showed up with the remaining pickets we needed, and I got this gate all done and cut in, so they're both ready. I'm about halfway through staining this side of the shared fence. I've got a million videos that I'll put cards and links to of other stain projects I've done that go more in depth. All right, guys, I got both sides sprayed down with stain. All I got to do tomorrow is come back with a brush, touch up any thin spots after it settles for 12, 16 hours. Appreciate you joining us. Look for us on the next one. We turn these videos out about once a week. Consider liking and subscribing. See you on the next one.